Hey, I'm Lori. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making something really cute with one of the Dollar Tree heart frames. So we're going to be using the Dollar Tree heart frame. We're going to be using some of the fuzzy thick yarn, some pretty ribbon, and maybe a little tulle. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to cover the inside of this with some yarn. So you could do pink, white, red, any of those would look great. And then we're going to do the outside in ribbon. We're going to cut our ribbon at 8 inches. So I'm just going to measure out 8 inches and I'm going to fold that over, and I'm just going to keep folding over and over to get some of the pieces we'll need. I'm going to cut both ends. And I'm going to dovetail both sides. So you can just take several at a time, fold them in half, fold them in half again, and cut up towards the wired edge. I'm also going to cut some of my tulle at 8 inches as well. So I could do the same thing. Find the 8 inch. And fold it over and over on itself. And I'll just cut them right in the middle. So there are several ways you can attach this and do this. You can do the center first, and you can actually glue these on to the yarn or attach it to the frame, and then I'm going to put yarn on. So I'm just going to take a piece of the tulle and I'm going to do it lengthwise like this. So like a square, but I'm going to go up like that, so that I almost have like a little flower petal, kind of. Okay, I'm just gonna put it on my tulle, and I'll tell you one easy way to do this. All right, find the center of this, pinch it. I'm gonna put that on my tulle as well, and I'm gonna do several at one time. Okay, so get my square, go edge to edge, place it down, find the center of my ribbon. So to me, this is making little bundles. So I just want to make some bundles, and then I can put several on and then come back and make more bundles. I find this easier when I'm doing a project like this. So if I want to, I can even sit in front of the TV and do these bundles. So I'm gonna make all these bundles, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna start putting them on wreath. Okay, so I have a whole bunch cut up and made. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap it, and then we will start putting on our little bundles. So I'm going to start at the bottom. And the way I'm going to start is I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to glue it. I'm going to put a little hot glue right on this little bar here. Okay, and then a little here and a little here. So that's just going to get us started. And what you can do to make it a little bit easier is to just cut some of your yarn. Okay, and I want to put a little glue right here on this corner because I want to make sure this is going to stay in the corner. Okay, so I'll just kind of hold it there for a second. And so I'll just use small sections of yarn so I don't have to struggle so much. Once you get past the corner, it's going to get easier. So when you're working in the corner, if you're having any trouble, just drop a little glue on the bar to keep your yarn in place. Once you get past the corner, it's going to be a little easier. So what I like to do is just kind of use my hand to hold these in place. Okay, and then every once in a while, I'm going to drop a little bit more glue on the top, the bottom, and the middle. So that's just going to keep the prior pieces from moving. Okay. When I finish off with one section of yarn, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to pull this yarn through. I'm going to glue it in place. I'm going to pull it up underneath. And glue it right to the bar. If you have any sections where you see that it's separating, just go ahead and drop a little bit of glue in there. So I'm going to start with another section of yarn. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing. Just kind of get some glue, get a little section started. You do want to do them pretty tight so you won't have problems. Okay. I pull a pretty good amount. So once I get all the way around, I'll cut off any excess. I'm going to glue in this last little piece. There we go. So that looks pretty all by itself, but we want to add a little bit more to it. What I want to do is take these little bundles that we made, and I'm going to add them so that they're kind of coming out to the side. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of bundles made, and I did decide to switch and have the little tulle in the front and the ribbon in the back because it's really going to show a lot better. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to pinch it in half like this. I'm going to use my little clear rubber bands. Now you don't have to do this step, but I like to because then I don't have to worry about it coming apart. So when you're sitting down making your bundles, you could go ahead and do this part. Then I just kind of arrange it. And then I'm going to take it, flip this over to the back, and I'm going to glue these all along here. Now I was thinking about putting some zip ties down in this middle bar. Try to use some zip ties to kind of go and zip tie down to this middle bar. So this middle bar here. But it's really difficult to get it in the zip tie. It's easy to get the zip tie in, but to get this in the zip tie and to stay was kind of difficult. So we're just going to glue them on. Make sure they're facing the front. You're just going to take your glue and glue this little part right here. And right on it goes. So that's going to look super cute. So I'm just going to take them out, fold them up, and just glue it down right next to the one before it. So you want to give a little bit of space. So you can see how cute that's going to look. It's just kind of frame our heart. One thing you can do is take a tiny little bit of hot glue and glue in between those ribbons just to make sure they're going to stay folded. You can also use the rubber bands. Now, don't use the rubber bands if you're going to be using hot glue, because you've got to have a low temperature glue or it's going to burn right through it'll glue right through the rubber band. There we go. See how cute that is? Okay. So when you're putting them on, just make sure you're spacing them enough apart. So I'm kind of putting it about where that last ribbon ended. So they're kind of touching, overlapping just a tiny bit, but not a lot. So I'm going to keep going all the way around. Okay, so you can see just how cute this is. Look at that. That is so pretty. But one thing I want you to see is that when I lift it up, these are going to kind of flop over. So I'm going to take mine a step further. Now you don't have to do this. I want to do this because I really don't want anything to flop over. I also want to make sure that all of this is going to stay on and secure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of foam board to go around and just kind of glue on the back, and it'll keep everything in place, and I can just cover that with felt. I have a second one of these, and I'm just going to use that to outline it. So I just have a piece of foam board from the Dollar Tree. Now this is just going to be backing something, so I'll use the Dollar Tree one. If I make wreath attachments, I'm actually going to use the foam board from Walmart. Reason being, it's a little thicker, but for what I need, this is perfect. So I'm going to take a pencil. This is one of my sewing pencils. It's for marking hems and stuff, but it's white. So when I use this, it's a little bit easier for me to see it. So I will tend to use these. Now this isn't going to be seen from the front, so it's not going to need to be perfect. There we go. Now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. This is a special one because it has a really nice handle on it. If you're ever going to be doing wreath attachments, I highly suggest this. There's a link for it in the description. It's also on my Amazon store that has all the things I use for wreath attachments. So you're just going to go down the outline you made. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece off just so it'll be a little bit easier to work with. All right. I'm not too worried about these edges because I'm going to cover it, but if it bothers you, you can just take a little bit of a sanding block and just kind of run down it. It'll get rid of any little pieces. I think you get a little bit more of the pieces with the Dollar Tree one than with the one from Walmart, but it'll get rid of any of those little pieces. You're not going to see that. It's going to be covered. Okay. So you could actually cover the whole thing, and then, you know, you would have something cute in the center, which I really like. Or you could cut out this and only cover the heart. If you want to cover the whole heart, you can actually use one of the microfiber cloths from the Dollar Tree, and then you'll see it'll just look really cute with just a little nice little white kind of fuzzy inside. Or you can take a piece of felt and cover it. So this is the felt from the Dollar Tree, so you can see it doesn't quite go across the whole thing. However, it's going to be in the back, so it's okay to kind of patch it. But I'm going to use this microfiber cloth because I think that's going to look super cute underneath that. I'm just going to lay it on top like this. Let's see, I want to decide what side I like. I think I like this side. Okay, so I'm going to lay it on top. I'm going to make sure I have enough for the edges. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to go a little bit closer to the edge so I only really have to cut one time. Now I'm just going to cut a little bit off the edge here. Okay. I'm also going to take my awl and I'm going to make somewhere where I can hang it. Alright, so I'm just going to put little holes through like that. You could even put some batting under here or even some polyfill just to make this heart a little bit fluffier. So let's see how big our piece is here. So it is about 16.5 by 16. So about 16 by 16. All right, so we know what we need for batting. What we need glue. Okay. So what I'll do is just kind of glue it kind of one over the other like this to keep that point in place. Just like that. Okay, so now you can see just how nice that looks. So if you're only going to cover the back, then you would just glue this on like this, and then you would have a nice, just kind of sturdy frame for the back. Okay. Okay, so before I go on too far, I want to put my pipe cleaner through those little holes I made right there. Okay, and I want to put it through this way. Okay. Okay, so this way I'm going to have a nice place to hang it from. Okay, so you can see when I put it on, it's going to have a nice hanger. Okay. All right, now let's get this part on. Okay, so I'm just going to put it on here. Make sure I have enough on each side. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. So I'm just going to glue down, stretch it over, press it down. And we'll come by and trim these corners, and then we'll cover it with something in the back just to make it look nice and neat. So if you're stretching and gluing, kind of doing this, then you should get a perfectly nice edge. Okay. If I have a lot of trouble, I will cut little slits to get the edge I need, but most of the time I don't have to. Most of the time I can just pull it taut, especially if I have that batting down. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then for this point, we'll just fold it over, glue right in there, just like that. Okay, so I'll trim off some of this excess. I am going to trim this a little bit so I can get around our little hanger here. So I'm just going to cut little slits near that. Okay, and then you just kind of glue around it. There we go. There. All right. Let's see how this is going to look. Oh, that looks so pretty. I'm just going to take a piece of a little bit stiffer foam to cover the back. Now remember, you can just cut out the heart shape and then just use this with some felt. So kind of outline it. There we go. Okay. Now I'll just trim this off. Remember, you're not looking for perfection. You're just kind of covering. Okay. I think I need to do just a tiny bit more. No, I think it's pretty good. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of glue it. So remember, this is low temperature, so I'm going to kind of do sections so that it doesn't dry on me. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this onto here. Okay. But you can see just how nice that looks. And it's going to keep it from falling down. So you see how they all stay where they are? And now we have this cute little center. Okay, so we're going to run glue all the way around this edge so that we can have a nice base to put it on. You could put like words in here, like love, Okay, so I switched to hot glue so that I can have a little bit more time to work with, and I'm going to run glue all around this edge. Okay. I want to make sure it's going to glue down. Okay. Okay, let's get it in place. We want to make sure it's going to glue on top of everything. All right, let's see. Oh, how cute is that? I love it. So you could get little word love and put in here. That would be so cute. But I think this turned out awesome. So you have to tell me what you think. And here it is. Look how cute that is. I love that. And it looks like it has layers on it because we have just a little bit of the tulle in it. And that kind of makes it look like it's layered. But I love it. I think it is adorable. And it's going to hang well because we have that nice piece in the back. And we put a cute little part in the center. Now, if you wanted to put some stuffing in it, then it would come out even more and kind of fill in this area a little bit more. But I hope you enjoyed this. So make sure to like and subscribe and leave me some comments and tell me what you think.